Life out here in Nebraska ain't ever been easy. My family's worked this land for generations, and every year, it's a gamble. You do everything right, plow the fields, plant the seeds, and pray to God you don't lose it all to a storm or drought. But this year was the worst I've seen. No rain for months, the sun burning my crops to dust. I've got 3 kids to feed and a wife who looks at me like I'm failing them. I started praying more than usual. Asked for a miracle. Begging, really. I ain't one to go to church much, but when you're desperate, you try anything. One morning, I'm walking the fields like always, checking for any sign of life. The air was still, the sun barely up, when I noticed something strange. One of the stalks was bulging, like it was too full, but not with corn. I got closer and saw the husk wasn't sealed right, like something was pushing through from the inside. I reached out, hesitating for a second, before pulling it open, and there it was, a human hand, pale and perfect, sticking out from the cob like it'd grown there. My heart jumped up into my throat. I stumbled back, eyes wide, and the bile rising as I tried to make sense of it. The hand twitched slightly on the stalk. I pulled more of the husk apart, my hand shaking, and what I saw almost sent me running for the hills. Fingers, arms, legs, even a foot, all tangled up in the stalks like some grotesque harvest. And it wasn't just one plant. There were more. Dozens. They weren't growing corn anymore. They were growing people. Or pieces of them, at least. Some stalks had kidneys nestled in the leaves. Others had hearts or lungs just hanging there, red and slick like fresh meat in a butcher shop. I threw up right there in the dirt, bile burning my throat. This wasn't natural. It wasn't right. But then, I thought about my family, my bills piling up, the look in my kids' eyes when they went to bed hungry. Maybe this was the answer to my prayers. After a few days of staring at those body parts sprouting like crops, an idea crept into my mind. At first, I pushed the thought away, but it wouldn't leave me. Desperation changes a man. I made the call. They didn't ask many questions. I made more money in one sale than in the past 5 years. People were desperate for organs, and no one cared where they came from. The fields kept producing, and the buyers? Folks out there need transplants. Before I knew it, I'd paid off the farm, the debts, everything. My kids had new clothes. My wife was smiling again. But every night, when I close my eyes, I see them, those pieces of people, growing, and I wonder if God really heard me, or if I made a deal with someone else.